Yes. Right. So we are left with a few more things regarding the Word document. I think you can uh, please confirm me whether you can see the screen clearly.
Can see.
Right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you, Saran. So I think everyone else can see me clearly. So if anyone experiencing, yeah, right. Okay. Right. Let's proceed. In your Word document, so there are a few more things that you need to know about, like making things a little bit interesting when you are doing something. So you can add a color to your page. You can do it by using the design tab. So so far we have discussed about the home tab as well as the insert tab, and uh, as I remember the very last day, or like the end of the last session, I was talking about this the smart art as well, right? So I asked you to go through it and see. So it will be easier for you to illustrate some things using the Word documents, right? Yeah, before I move into the page colors, here I'm going to tell you some other little things which is a little bit interesting. I'm going to talk about this header, footer, and page number, right? So this header, footer, and page number are the things which we are going to which we are going to repeat uh, page by page of a document. Like if you consider about your textbook, right? Now, if your textbook is always having this page number in it, right? And unfortunately, they don't have a header, right? I'll show you some of mine, which contains the header. So you can have an idea what is the header and what is not, right? So yeah, let me show you something. Yeah, so yeah, so this, I think you can see this clearly. Let me take the magnifier as well, so you can, people who are referring from a phone will be able to see this clearly if I use the magnifier. Right, so this is your page, right? So you can see there is something like Unit 1 concept of ICT. When I'm continuing to the next page, see, you can see the same thing, Unit 1 concept of ICT, and here it says page 2. The previous page, it was page 1, right? And again, you can see this is a little bit blurred, or like it's kind of a watermark thing on your page, and you can see the similar formatting in each and every page header at the top of the page. So you can see the very same thing, all right? So the Unit 1 concept of ICT, likewise, right? This is why I'm using this, because I need this phrase on each and every page of my document with the page number, right? As well as, if you notice at the bottom of the link, at the bottom of the page, you can see information and communication technology advanced level, and there is this horizontal line, which also having
Sir,
the
I
same.
can't see.
You can't see, Saran? Hold on. Wait, Saran, I'm going to share it again. Saran,
Sir,
you are referring. Can you see it now?
so I can only see the Word document.
Yeah, it's the Word document that we are talking about. This, you can see this particular document, right, with a clock and with a correct sign and all these things.
Address. The document with the address.
Okay, okay. Hold on, hold on, hold on, my dear. Let's share this again. Share this again. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Avinash, can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. Avinash, will you confirm whether you can see it or not?
Can see, sir.
Can see, right, okay, right, okay. Right, so what I was talking about is these two parts. At the top of the page, there is something like Unit 1, Concept of ICT, page 3. And this is the bottom of the page. So there is Information and Communication Technology, advanced level. And there is this horizontal line, as well as at the top of the page, there is this horizontal line as well. So when I'm scrolling down, you will be able to see the same thing at each page, at the bottom and at the top of each page. So these kind of things which we need to repeat from each and every page, we can use those things to have it in the page header and page footer. People, am I clear to you? I'm getting the messages that my connection is not stable. Let me join through my tab as well. So,
Sir, even yeah, you're getting sometimes it get lagged.
right. Good, good, good. Hold on. Just a moment. Right. Can you hear me clearly, people?
Can
Hello.
hear, sir.
Yeah, right, good. So I think hereafter there won't be any interference because there was some problematic situation with the SLT people. So I'm connecting with you with the dialogue service provider. So let's see whether it's going to continue or not, right? Okay, let me share the screen still. Right. So as I told you, if you need these things to be repeated on each and every page of your document, the header and the footer part is the one which you are going to use. So as well as when it comes to the header and footer, we use this header and footer by default to introduce or like to illustrate on which chapter we are on the book, or like in which page we are on the book, or what is the section that we are referring to, right? So likewise, those details can be given at the header part and the footer part, right? Okay, I'm going to show you how things are going to change by using the header and footer. We take the magnifier like this, right? So you can't see the header and footer section when you are working on a document directly. You need to work with the header and the footer. What you are going to do is you need to double click on the very top area to activate the header, or you can just click on the header section and inside the insert tab, header and footer group, there is something called header, footer, and page number. So you can click on the header and you can say edit header. Then you are given, or like you will be shown a section which contains header, as well as if you move to the bottom, you can see the footer, right? So header and footer can be arranged or can be changed as per our requirement. There are many options, like you experienced previously. Once we open this header and footer, we are given with a new tab, which is called the design, and which is called the design. So you can, using the tools which are inside it, you can do various kind of things. But for the moment, I'm going to tell you the very basic thing, how to insert a header and how to insert a footer, and how you are going to work with the page numbers, right? So if you are going to add a header, there are predefined headers that they have provided us with the Office package, with the MS Word. So either you can choose something from here, or you can just type what do you need to be repeated. So we'll see how the things are going to happen in both ways, right? So I'm going to choose some header for you. So now there are different kinds of headers. Like if I choose blank, so it will give me the space to type something here. So if I say ICT grade 10, and using the tab keys, I can move to the middle and to the very right, and I can do the adjacencies, and even I can add any of the formattings inside my home tab, and as well as I can get pictures and place on here, right? So everything will be repeated, right? But when it comes to the header and footer is not a place where we're going to do a lot of decorations. It's going to be, it should be a simple and very calm thing when it comes to a document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a horizontal line and draw something, and I'm going to make it a black line, something a little bit thicker, right? And here I say ICT grade 10, and at the very right corner, I'm going to write the heading of our lesson, which is word processing software. All right. So this is the header part that I'm going to use, and at the bottom part or the footer part, I'm going to place another horizontal line, right? So that will give me a clue how to what is the limits of this page. And I'll show you something interesting. You can change this line by using shape outline, and you can have this different kind of patterns, right? So like I'm going to use this pattern, so it's going to be formatted like that. And at the bottom, I'm going to write the extraction of ICT. So information and communication technology. All right, and I need that to be center aligned, so press center align, right? Okay, that will be my footer. And I need the page number, so I can go to the design tab again, right? It is still activated because I'm still dealing with the header and the footer, right? So I will move to the footer and move to the page number part, and in page number, so inside the design tab, it is there. How you are going to get the design tab? Once you selected the header and footer part, there will be a new tab called design. So inside the design, at the header footer group, page number will be there, right? And I'm going to place the, I can place the page number in many different places, like top of the page, and be showing you what are the places that you can show, right? And at the bottom of the page, so likewise, page margin. So you can choose a lot of things, or like lot of ways you can use a lot of places to place your page number. And there is something called current position as well, like where you are going to edit now. So I'm going to use the bottom of the page, and I'm going to use this kind of plain number in here. So see what happens when I'm clicking this. See what has happened. So my page, my other formattings were gone, right? Because it is like the entire footer is replaced with the page number. So if I'm going to do the formattings to my footer, it is better if you apply the page number first, then you can do the changes. Or else we can do this. We can place number 1 in here, and let's see what's going to happen. All right. So I have done the decoration part for the footer as well as to the header. So I'm going to exit from this. How we are going to exit from it? So you can choose this close header and footer button right here, or you can double click on the body of the or like the white space of your document, like at the middle of your document. If you double click on it, so see, now it's going to like watermark kind of a thing regarding this page 1. So let me type something. I'm going to have bigger font so I can type very quickly. All right. And I'm going to take a new page. So my new page is already having this header part, right, as well as the footer part. And did you see there is no changes to the header part if you place number 1 like concretely. Number 1 type. So it's not going to happen. So I'm going to place a page number, right? So from this, let me see at the bottom of the page. Yeah, I'm just searching something similar to my formatting. So there are many. Yes. Yeah, let's take this. Right. So I have placed it. So 1 is there. So now you can change the position. Right. So if you go to the home and you place it like this, so your page number will be at the very right corner, and here I can say information and communication knowledge. All right. Okay, so let's see. My page footer is changed. So when I'm moving to the next page, yeah, so it is changed. So now I'm having 2 in here. So if you need to change the place where it is, it's like you can press enter and take it down. But when I'm pressing enter, just see what is happening. My footer is getting bigger. That means I'm pressing enter means I'm expanding the space of the footer. So it will eventually go up because it can't go further down. All right. Let me try to paste it here, right here. I won't be able to. Let's go with like this. Okay, so the formatting things are up to you. I'm just showing you the places what you can do. So this is the way that you can apply a footer and a header to your document. So regardless of the pages, number of pages that your document is going to have, you're going to have a lot of you're going to have header and footer on your each page with a different page number. All right. Okay, so that is regarding the page header and a page footer and the page number. And if you are trying to apply a predefined one, a predefined header, so let me apply a predefined header. So if I apply this particular header, so it is being added, and they are just asking things on this format. So the document title, You can say ABC document for an example, and you can pick a date. There are some formats where it gives, where it permits you to add the date. If you don't want, you can get rid of that, right? So once you change your header into something like this, so it will be at every page where you are going to create. Okay, is this clear, people? Let me have the clarification, or like the.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Right, thank you, Saran, and others. Please, right, okay, thank you, people. Thank you very much. Right. So that is regarding the header and the footer. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And I don't remember whether I was talking about this text box kind of a thing. Yes, I was talking about this text box kind of a things when I was talking about these shapes. So I just recap you the thing. So the text box is something, some square type of box where you are given the permission to type on it, and you can move that typing to anywhere you want. So if you click on this text box, either in here or inside the shape. So inside the shapes, it gives you the standard text box. But if you choose the text box under the text group, you can have many kinds of text box which are being pre-formatted for you as per your requirements, right? So you can take some kind of a textbook and text box, and you can just type the things you want, right? So they're like giving it in the pre-formatted way. So you can type the content you want, and you can format that. That means you can resize it, right? And you can move it for the places you want. So if someone asks you to make an article for a magazine or for a newspaper, this is a very good way of creating that kind of thing, right? So that is what you can do with the text box inside the insert tab, right? So once you are like click on the text box, it is given a new tab which is called format, where you can do the formatting as per your needs, right? So you can go through this. We have discussed these things for last 3 weeks, right? Okay, so that is regarding the insert tab, right? So now I'm moving to the design tab. Before I moved on to it, I'm going to have a new page, right? So yeah, I'm going to have a new page. So inside the design tab, you are given some designs or some themes for your document. So like it will define what color the heading titles are, what color the headings are, what color the subheadings are, likewise, right? These are some extra things that I'm telling you. And you, the most important part is here. I want you to concentrate on this page background group, right? So this inside this page background group, you can add a watermark, you can add a page color, and you can add a page border, right? So first of all, I'll show you how the watermark can be inserted. So if I click on this, they are giving us the predefined watermarks, right? So like confidential, do not copy. Now watermark is what? It is something which will be there on your document, which is not disturbed to the actual content or the original content, but will be shown. Right? So if you choose this confidential, so your confidential watermark will be there, and you can type any type of letters above it, any number of letters that you need. So it will be there at the bottom of your typing by indicating your watermark, and it gives the purpose. Like we can, like in most of the organizations, they use this practice to indicate what kind of a document that a person is going to refer, right, by using the watermarks. And
Only, sir, can't we write our own watermark?
yes, we can. That's what I'm going to tell you next. So if you need to create your own watermark, right? So like you can say, you can choose custom watermarks here, right? There is something called custom watermarks. So you click on it, right? So it gives you many options, right? So you can have a picture watermark if you need, right? So if you select, may select some picture from your computer. So let me show you. Yeah, if I choose this icon, and it is asking how how it's going to scale and what kind of effect that it needs. And if I say OK, can you see a very light color watermark is there, right? So under the custom watermark, if I take away this washout thing, yeah, so my watermark is more clearer. So, but remember, like when you are using a watermark, like when you're using a picture as a watermark to your page, you should be very careful not to disturb the original content, because watermark is not the message that we want to give from the document, but the actual content. So you should be very careful, and you are going to use a watermark whenever you need, right? You are not going to use it anyway, right? When you need a watermark, you better use it. So like if you like instead of a picture, you can use your own text message with the with the font type that you need, right? And this is the place where you need to type your own message. Now here it says ASAP, as soon as possible. So likewise, you can type the thing you want, right? If you need to give your name, right? So you can give your name, and you can choose a color as well, right? And you can say how it's going to happen, whether it is diagonally or it is horizontally, right? So you know what is diagonal and what is horizontal, right? Diagonal means like diagonal, horizontal. It's going to be a flat format. So if I apply this, see, you can see what the watermark is. Right. So that is the way you are going to use a watermark, right? So I'm going to get rid of the watermarks now, and I'm going to show you how to apply a page color. Now, page color means you are going to give a color for the entire page, right? Not to a part of it, not only to the document contents, but to the entire page, right? So if I choose a color, it will be there, right? So see what happens when I'm taking a new page. The color continues, right? It's like you can't, let's see whether we can change the page color into a page by page. We won't be able to, right? There are ways that you can choose, right? I'm letting those things for you to experiment because it is not in your syllabus. Remember that you can change the colors by page by breaking these pages into sections, right? So the way you are going to insert a section is here, insert, not insert, actually it's the, as I remember, it's the references. Let me see. Here, in the page layout, you can do the section break and do the different coloring, but I'm not going to go that deep, right? So here in the design tab, you can change the page color if you need, right? And as well as you can use a page border by using this page border type, right? Page border button. So there are predefined borders like box, shadow, and kind of thing. If I apply box and I say okay, so it's going to have a box border around my page. And if I choose something else like shadow, I say okay, so it's changed as a shadow, and I think you don't see the shadow clearly. Let me see whether I can change the shadow. Shadings. No, it's not. Yeah, there will be, but it will be a complex one. So don't worry, right? And you can have 3D things as well, like the 3D body is not visible in here since because the 3D facility is not in here. And this is the interesting part. If you choose custom, you can change your border style from here, right? You are given many types of borders, right? And these are some line styles. If you want to change it to art, Let's go. Right, sorry for the disturbance. And you can have the nice borders from here, right, which is under art, right? So yeah, you can have I'm going to choose this Christmas tree, and if I say okay, so Christmas trees will be there, right, for your borders. Now these borders will be very useful for you if you are like creating some invitation kind of things, so even for a cover page, right? So use them effectively, right? How you are going to take this window? By pressing the design tab, and inside the page background there is a command called page border, right? And by increasing and decreasing this value, you can make that borders much simpler. See, so you can do many different things. So it is up to you to observe this software, because Word is something very capable of documentation, which we are like discussing the very major parts of it, right? Okay, people, is it clear until this point? Yes, people, just give me a
Yes, sir.
patient. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Seven, you have sent me the message. I have 2019, but I stopped again. I'm using it. Doesn't matter. Okay. So in 2007, they don't give you a design tab. Yeah, let me look into that, Seven. Sarah, did you find it later, or is it still in the very same way? You can't find the design tab. Sarah? Okay. Anyway, right. Right. All right, Sharon, let me help you later. Huh? Not we are here, right? When we are doing a practical, I'll get to know how things are going to happen in 2007, right? Okay, and after this, I'm going to go to the page layout tab. So the page layout tab is all about how we are going to change the type of your page, or like the how your page is going to arrange, like the size, like the margins, like the orientations, and like the columns and all these things, right? Okay, so let me take a new file to do the things, right? So in this, I'm going to go to the page layout, and I'm going to go for the margins. Now here, margins means this gray color area, which is being shown by the ruler. So you can see the cursor. The cursor is inside the margin, like right of this margin and the bottom of this margin. So this is the margin. This is the top margin. This is the left margin. And here you have the right margin. And at the bottom, you have the bottom margin, right? So likewise, It is something similar to your exercise book or the notebook, where it has a top, left, and bottom margins, but not the right margin, right? But in a document, there will be 4 margins at your Word document. And you can use the predefined margin patterns, or like the predefined margins, which is given as normal, narrow. Now, if you choose narrow, you will see it will give you like more room to type, right? And the wide margin, you can say, so it like limit the space for us to type, because the margin is moved somewhere like this, right? And you can use the mirrored margin, like this will be much useful when you are working with the columns, right? I'll show you there, right? And the default margin, which is with the Office 2003 version, right? And as well as you can have the custom margin levels as well. So like you can adjust the top, bottom, left, and right margin positions, or the margin widthness by the arrow. So if you set it to 0.2, this is in inches, right, by default. So it's going to have 0.2 inches in every margin, right? So as it says, you can have top, left, bottom, and right margins. So you can use this arrowhead buttons to increase and decrease the sizes, so you can just type in it, right? And if I press OK, hold on, it's giving some error message, not the error message. One or more margins are set outside the printable area of the page. Choose the fix button to increase this. Yeah. So if I fix it, it will take it to the default size of printable area of a printer. Or if I ignore it, it will be there as it is. Now you can see my cursor goes up here. It is somewhere where my cursor was not positioned earlier, right? So it has a very thin margin by giving us more room to type, right? It will help you in several different occasions, like if you have when you need to use your page entirely, so it's the only option is to close down the margins. Like without going to this option, this margin, you can use your mouse pointer to change the margin levels. Now, if your mouse pointer move to this marker very carefully, it's going to turn into a mouse pointer like this, So, oh, unfortunately, yes, you can see the mouse pointer. It is little bit shifted to the right. So once you click and drag the things, right, your margin can be changed. If you want, you can make it 0. If you want, you can make it bigger, right? So if I fix it to be 1, this gives you this sets your margin to 1 inch. If I make it 2, it will set your margin to 2 inch, right? So likewise, you can change all your margins, like top, bottom, right, and left, as per your need, right? Now let me show you what happens when if I change. Yeah, I got a chat message by saying what. Seven, magnifier. You can take magnifier by searching it once you click on the start button, right? You click on the start button and you search for magnifier, or you just scroll down. right? Okay, let me show you what happens when the when the words are there and when you change the margins. So let me have a bigger font and let me type something blah blah. Right. So see what happens. So I have zoomed out the things as per you to see clearly. So I'm changing my margins here. See? So the content which cannot hold inside this one single page moved into the second page. And if I increase this margin as well as my top margin, and if I increase bottom margin as well. So see? So my content will be compressed according to the margin. Margin. So the rest will be moved to the other pages. And all the pages are going to have the similar margins for one particular document, right? Again, if you break this into sections, you can have different kind of margins, right? That is up for you to search because it is not in your syllabus, right? Okay, so that is regarding the margins, and this is regarding the orientation. So like orientation means we have only two specific orientations, which is portrait and the landscape. You can understand it by looking at the icons, which is for the portrait and landscape, right? So if I choose landscape, you will see my size of the documents will get changed, right? හරස් අතර තියලා වගේ තමයි ඔයගලට පේන්නේ. See? චිත්‍ර පොත්වල තියෙනවා වගේ. Right? So you can have it like this. Right? So again, if you need to have portrait and landscape page settings on a one single document, you have to break this document into sections. Otherwise, if you choose landscape, all the pages are going to be landscape. If you choose portrait, all the pages are going to be portrait, right? Okay, then regarding the size, like there will be predefined sizes when the when your Word is getting installed into your computer, like A4, A5, B5 and all these things. But you will be having additional page sizes when you are installing a printer into your computer, right? Like installing a printer means when you buy a printer, they will give you a CD which contains the drivers of the printer. So you can, if you need to have the fully functional facilities from your printer, you have to install your drivers into the computer. Drivers means none other than the details which is given to the computer to identify the printer's capabilities. Printer එකට මොකක්ද කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා අඳුන ගන්න අවශ්‍ය detail ටික තමයි drivers කියලා කියන්නේ. So it's kind of a software which we have discussed, as I remember, the device drivers, which is the system software, right? So once you install the drivers, you will be given many different kinds of page sizes, like this A3, right, and all these bigger sizes. So sometimes it's not going to be there with the word processing software, right? So anyway, what you are going to do is, this is a very important fact that I am saying. When you are going to work with a document, by default, the Word document set its formatting into this letter type. Letter size means something very similar to A4. See, the dimension is mentioned under the type, right? So if you choose letter, it's going to show you 8.5 inch into 11. If you choose A4, it's going to be 8.27 inches into 11.69. So it's a little bit shorter, like දිග කියන එක අඩු වෙලා පළල කියන එක පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩි වෙනවා A4 වලට ආවම. Right? So it's better you choose what you are going to like what type of page that you are going to print this document. ඔයගොල්ලෝ legal size papers දැකලා ඇති කියලා මම හිතනවා. those are like a little lengthier than the A4s, right? අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාට ඔය deeds වගේ දේවල් ලියනකොට legal documents ඒකට legal කියන size එක ඇවිල්ලාම තියෙන්නේ legal documents වලට against පාවිච්චි කරන්න වෙන නිසා, right? So if you are going to print something on a legal document, so you are going to you should choose the legal size for the document and should do your formatting. Otherwise මොකද වෙන්නේ, if you type on a A4 size paper and if you print it out on a legal document, the bottom part of your document is going to be a white space. කියන අපි දිග වැඩි කොලයක දිග අඩු content එකක් type කරා හා සමානයි page size එක හරියට තෝරලා වැඩ කරේ නැති වුණා, right? So that is regarding the size. So there are many types like envelopes, hagaki and all these things. Those are some.
But we are
Yes.
typing it in the letter format, right?
Yeah. Basically, we are going to type it in the letter format and as well as A4 format, because it's better you choose A4 format because the papers that you can purchase from lot of bookshops and all these places are in the A4 size, not in the letter size. Now, if you need the letter size papers, you have to specifically ask from them, give me not the A4 papers, but the letter size papers. So they will provide you the letter size papers, right? So like if you write it, if you compose it, or like prepare your document on a letter type, and if you print it out on a A4 sheet, still you can have some wider margin at the bottom of your page. මොකද letter size එක දිග තියෙන්නේ 8.5යි, right? A4 එක තියෙන්නේ දිග තියෙන්නේ letter එකේ අඟල් 11යි, A4 එකේ 11.69ක් දිගයි. එතකොට අර 0.69 මුකුත් print වෙන්නේ නැහැ මිලු, right? Because you have chosen the letter size, right? So likewise දැන් අපි letter and A4 එක වැඩ කරනකොට නම් අපිට ලොකු අවාසියක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ, because those comes with the same sizes. පොඩි වෙනසක් තමයි නේ, අඟල් 0.69 කියන්නේ එක අඟලකට වඩා අඩුයි. හැබැයි if you are going to work with with a legal and a A4, it's going to be a huge space at the bottom of your printout, right? So it's better you be careful when you are working with these sizes. And මොකද ඔක ගොඩක් වුණා වෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ පස්සේ size එක වෙනස් කරන්න ගියොත් ඔයා කරපු වැඩේ වැඩක් නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ like assume that you have typed using the A4 size and you are going to change after the typing into the legal size. So maybe your contents will move here and there, right? If you haven't used
That
the
means
page,
before you start typing, you should.
that's right. You should have the idea in which paper that I'm going to print this thing. If you don't have the idea, so you have to prepare for that extra time to reformat your document onto the paper you need, right? So for one of those things, you have to make up your mind, right? Okay, is it clear, people? I saw some people were disconnecting. I think it's due to some connection or power failures. So don't worry, this is being recorded, so you can refer it after I finish the classes. Is it clear, people?
Yes.
So far? So others, please respond so I can have the idea whether anyone
Yes,
have.
sir.
Right, okay, thank you. Okay. Sir, how to change the size only in selected pages? Sir, that is what I was talking about. You have to like create sections, Buddha. And if I got a chance after mail merge practical, I'll show you, right? Otherwise, we won't be able to finish up the lesson by today's because we are going now. Like this is the 4th week that we are discussing the word, as I remember, right? So it's high time to finish the lesson. But we have discussed a lot of things inside here, so I think you have a very sound knowledge regarding Word now. But we have to discuss the mail merge first. Then I'll show you how to change the things, right? Okay, so people, I'm going to show you how the columns are going to work, right? And for that, I'm going to select all. How we are going to select all from the keyboard? By pressing CTRL and the A, right? It's better you go through these keyboard shortcuts. It is available on your textbook, right? And I need to show you the places where you need to highlight, or like where you need to mark on your textbook regarding the word lesson, right? Let me do it after the practicals, right? So I'm going to delete this thing, and I'm going to change my margins as well. I will take it to the normal size. So it is the normal size of margin when we are having a page. And columns is facilitate us to type more than one singular column in our document. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ පත්තරවල දැකලා තියෙනව නේද? පත්තරේ පළවෙනි පිටුව ගත්තොත් ඒවයි තියෙන columns නේද? එක column එක ලියලා තියෙනවා, තව එකක තව news එකක් තියෙනවා, තව column එකක තව එකක් තියෙනවා. So single page is divided into many different parts. So likewise, we can do the same thing to a Word document that we are working with, right? So but now the default column type is 1, which is been defaultly set into our document. You can increase if you want the columns, right? Like into 2, 3, and this left and right means if you choose left, your left column will be a thinner one, and your right column will be a thicker one, like less digging, palaling adu. Column එකක් එනවා වම් අත පැත්තට, පළලින් වැඩි එකක් එනවා දකුණු අත පැත්තට. If you choose right, it happens in the other way. Your left column is going to be a wider one, and your right column is going to be a less wider one, right? Or the thinner one, right? And let me take 2 column thing. So did you see the changes happen to the ruler? So now it shows you 2 different margins, right? So if I type something here, let me increase the letter size, right? So if I type something here, see what happens. Now I am at the end of one column, see what happens, see. So the rest of the column, or like the rest of the typing is moved to the other column.
So that's
right?
how they type books.
Yeah. Some some books, right? Some books are having like the way we are typing, look, just for one column. Then ගොඩක් වෙලාවට technical books අරගත්තොත්, අපි programming වගේ books අරගත්තොත්, නැත්නම් articles අරගත්තොත් ඔය විදිහට තමයි හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. Either they use columns or they use text boxes to change the contents, right? And if you move into the other page, it gives you the similar kind of formattings, right? So if you want, you can change the column type, right, by visiting to the page layout and click on the column and let's change it to the 3 column part. See what happens. So, and you can change the column size by changing your margin levels, right? So we have the magnifier. So see, if you change this size, so you can make the columns. But can you see, like when you are changing one column, the other 2 is changing automatically? See? Right. Okay, yeah, and it's going to work like that, right? And if you choose this left column, it's going to be like this. So left side is less, having less width, and your right has more, is wider than the left, right? So likewise, you can change your columns, and you can have more columns when you click on the more columns button. So you can increase the number of columns from here, so like as much as you need, but you have to see whether it is worth to have, like worth to have means like whether it is useful for you when you are doing your formatting your page, right? So you can increase as much as you want, right? And you can set column widths for these from here, right? Now, since I'm choosing 5 columns here, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 is below. And or else I can choose, I can click on this and say have equal columns for width. Right? By the default types, I have equal columns for width. That's why when one is changing, the others are changing automatically. When you get rid of this equal columns part, so you can change the things as per your need. Right? Okay, so that is how you are going to have these columns inside your document. So where you can use it appropriately whenever you need. Right? Is it clear, people? So I'm going to move into the last part. That
Mail
means
merge.
the mail merge part, right? Okay. Right, great. So,
So are you starting classes next week?
yeah, which I need to discuss with you guys. So, like actually with your parents. So you have to take this message to your parent. I'll tell it since Minul asked about this. So just ask from them whether they like to continue it in this manner or to come and to visit our place and do it the way we have done earlier. And the people who are connecting with me from the IME class, so like I'm going to continue the online classes for you if you need to have this on online manner. Still, if you are interested to participate on the physical class, so still you can. But I really like if you guys will stay in a one single format together, so I will be able to cater easily, right? So if you are comfortable with doing the online class furthermore, or like until grade 11 ends, that doesn't matter for me because this subject can easily be given via online since we can do many more practicals, and even you guys feel comfortable when you are like doing things at your side, and I can see the respond easily when you are like interacting with me online, because I can give you the instant exams and a lot of things can be done when we are doing it online. But if you like to participate on the physical class, that even doesn't matter because I have enough resources here to accommodate 10 people in my class. But still, if you are like having the idea to continue it online, I'm okay to do it online. So please discuss with your parents, and I will put a message to your group as well to inform the parents to choose what to be done and what is better for you. We'll see. We are going to continue it like this. It's going to be like this, and if we are going to meet up here, it's going to be like this, or it's going to be on the both ways. Otherwise, like the part will be coming here and the others will be meeting online, right? We'll see. I'll send a message to your WhatsApp group so your parents will get informed, right? Okay, so let's move to the mail merge. And before I move to the mail merge, there is something called references, reference tab. And inside the, no, actually not in the reference tab, what I need to talk is the review tab. Right, so inside the review tab, there are like this three important, not three, there are many important buttons in here, but what we are going to discuss is this spelling and grammar thing and this treasurer. And this spelling and grammar thing will allow you to check the spellings and grammar in your document once you type your document over, or like you can enable it to indicate while you are typing, where we are getting different kinds of lines like blue lines, like you can see here, and red lines and green lines. And treasurer will give you
I'm sorry. Treasurer will give you synonyms regarding the words. So you will be able to use similar words instead of having the regular words on your document, right? All these things are, you're going to use these things if it is necessary for you, right? Okay, so let me take a paragraph to this page. Let me take a new one. Otherwise, I have to. Yeah, and I'm going to take a paragraph. Let's see this. Right, and I'm going to make the font size bigger. Right, and I'm going to make it as a justified one. So, so far I don't have any errors in here, so I'm going to make some errors. Right, so you can see. Yes. Right, so likewise you can see some red lines under this. So these will indicate the spelling mistakes which is on your page. So you can right click on it and you will see a suggestion. So you can apply the suggestion if you want, or else you can go to the review tab and you can press spelling and grammar, and it will open a window at your right hand side in some versions of Word, or maybe it will open a small window at the middle of your page by indicating what are the grammar and the spelling mistakes that you have done in this document. So here they have highlighted this communicates word, and if I want, I can ignore this. Now, what are the places that we can ignore these things, especially regarding our names? They won't understand what our names are, right? Because they don't know what is our, like this, like as my name Laktaro and Minul and all these things. They don't know. They know about this John, baby, and all these things, but they don't know about our singular words. So they underline it as a spelling mistake, where we can ignore those things. So you can ignore it all at once. So like ignore all means you are going to ignore all the spelling mistakes. So which is not a good thing to do. And once they highlight a word, either you can ignore and they will ask you to change, and they will give you what are the suggestions. So you can go with those suggestions that they have given. So if you need to change it, you can just press the change button. So it will change it to the one which is same. So now here for details, they are suggesting this detail thing. So I can change if I want. And for newspaper, likewise. Or if I need to change all, so if I click on this, they will take the very first suggestion that they have listed, and all will be changed into the into its different place, right? So then after, then it says, okay, grammar and these things are complete. Now I need you to I want to do a grammar mistake as well. So let's say let's see whether we are going to catch this. Oh no, I don't know why. Still they are taking it as a spelling mistake. doesn't matter. So grammar, when you are having a grammar mistake, they will underline those things by a green line, and still they will give you the suggestions here to change that grammar mistake into a correct grammatical laws. So you will be able to change it to the way it is going to be. It's using the correct grammatical way. Right, so that is what you can do using the spelling and grammar, and using the treasurer, right? Just excuse me, I'm getting a call from the school. Hello. Madam, මම කතා කරේ මේ අර සමහර ටීචර්ස්ලා sessions දෙක තුන කරලා තියෙනවා සතිය ඇතුලේ. එහෙමම ඒක session 1 session 2 session 3 කියලා පෙන්නනවා. මේ විදිහට පෙන්නනවා. ඒකයි අර හින්දි වගේ ඒවා ගන්නකොට මම මේ පොඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් පෙන්නන්නේ තමයි කියලා. ළමයි ප්‍රමාණය ගොඩක් අඩුයිනේ. ඒතකොට ප්‍රස්තාවයක මුලින්ම ෆ්ලැට් වෙලා පෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ වෙලාවට පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක ක්ලියර් කරගන්න කියන්නේ. අනිත් ඒවා 100 ගණන් 300 ගණන් වෙනකොට අර 9 10 පෙන්නේ බොහොම පොඩියට. ඒකයි හරියට. ඔව් මැඩම් මේකයි අර මේ මැඩම් තුන්වෙනි මේ එකේ මට කියන්නේ අර මැඩම් ප්‍රස්තාර ජාති තුනක් කියලා තිබ්බනේ. තුන්වෙනි ප්‍රස්තාර ජාතිය කියලා තියෙන්නේ මට එච්චර. ඔව්. right. හරි. right, okay, right. ඇති කියන්නේ ඒකට ප්‍රස්තාරයක් ඕනේ නැහැ නේද? අර උඩ දෙක ප්‍රස්තාර අර විතරයි. right. හරි මැඩම් හරි. පොඩ්ඩක් වෙලා යනවා මැඩම් මට අද දවස ඕන වෙයි හෙට එනකොට අරන් ආවනම් ඇතිනේ මේ මැඩම්. හරි. right. Right. Sorry people. Right, so that is regarding the spelling and grammar corrections and the treasurer. Like I didn't show you the treasurer. Yes, when I'm click on the treasurer, it's going to indicate the word that I'm highlighting. So like, let me highlight something else. Let's say communicates, right? And let's take the treasurer, right? See. So regarding the communicates, the verbs are there and converse are there. So like they are giving us a lot of similar words in many different ways according to the English. So you can choose or you can replace the things instead of using this word, right? So if you take the details and you press treasurer, so it will give you the similar words for details, right? So it's better like when you are writing a document, like having this facility with you, you can make your writing much nicer one by using the synonyms. Like කියන්නේ අපි සමහරවිට normally දන්න වචනට වඩා ලස්සන වචන කියවන කෙනාට ඒක ලස්සන වෙන්න අපිට පුළුවන් අපේ document එක change කරගන්න. Right. Okay, people, is it clear up to this moment?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir, you didn't start mail merge, right?
No. I'm going to start now. Right. Okay, I think others can understand that clearly as well. So here we are going to go to the mail merge, the last part of the lesson, right? So the mail merge is regarding which is a facility which is given by the Word for us to make the documents in an easy way, right? In an easy way means now this will ease our work in different kinds of scenarios. Like assume that we are like assume that your school is preparing a letter to send to your parents to inform something. So they should create that letter with the they are going to address that letter individually to each and every parent of the school, right? So they have to like have a database or like have the details regarding what's the name of the parent and what's the address of the of this particular student, and they will there will be the content which is sent to them, right? Now assume if there are 1,000 students in the school, so the school itself need to create 1,000 different documents, or like they have to edit it 1,000 times to have the 1,000 different addresses to make the 1,000 different letters for those parents, right? So students students families. So for each and every family is going to receive a letter with a different address, right? So if you are going to do it manually, the one who is doing that need to change that specific address for 1,000 times, right? But if you are having this mail merge facility, you can do that very easily, right? Like we can use we are going to use a database kind of a thing, right? I'm going to show you, and I'm not going to explain what is a database because there is a separate lesson regarding that, right? So I'll show you how to enter things. So you can enter things during the mail merge, and we can simply change the address and have the printout, change the address and have the printout, right? So I'll show you how the things are going to happen. Okay, so I was typing one different format when I was starting the class. So let me take that. Yes, this is the one. So let me complete the sentence. Yes, Avinash, we are doing the mail merge part. I didn't see that you were leaving, but since you came now, I'm just completing the letter.
No, he's not there.
I think he's still admitted.
Yeah.
We are pleased to inform the ICT Day of ABC Parties of 2020. All right. Let me increase the font size. So my letter is something like this, which is a very simple one, right? And I'm going to make it a justified one, and I'm going to bold and underline this thing, right? Okay. So now, if I'm going to send this letter to each and every parent, so I'm going to change this particular thing for 1,000 times, right? So as per my example, let's assume there are 1,000 families. So we have to send 1,000 letters to them. So we have to replace this address like 1,000 times if we are going to create different number of letters to each and every family. So like if you think about this detail, there will be a name and there will be a number and there will be let's say a city and a street, or the address line 1 and address line 2. That is the only part that you need to change in this document. Rest will be the very same when it comes to the 1,000 letters, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this letter using the mail merge, right? So let's see how we are going to do that. I'm going to take a new document, right? And I'm going to go for the reference page, sorry, reference tab. hold on, not the reference tab, the mailing tab. And there is, this is the place to do the mail merge, right? And you can do the mail merge manually by yourself by going through all these steps. Or either the easier way is to use the mail merge wizard, right? So it will help you to do the mail merge thing, right? So what I'm going to show you is how the things are going to be done on the mail merge wizard, because that is how it is explained in your textbook as well. So I'm going to click on the step-by-step mail merge wizard first. So it will give me a little window or something, some window from my right hand side. And from there, it asks you to choose what's the document that you are going to create using the mail merge. So here I am, there are many things here. I'm going to create a letter. So I'm going to select the thing, or like I'm going to leave with the chosen one already, right? So when you move to the bottom of this window, there is a link which is saying next, start in the document. So I'm getting the window here. So at the very bottom, there is the next step or the next link. So I'm going to click on that link right here. So I'm clicking. So the step 2 is there. So what the step 2 is telling to you, select start in document. How do you want to set up your letter? Use the current document, start from a template, start from existing document. So why 3 choices are here? You can start typing your document right here, right? Or you can use a template. If you have already created a template, you can import it. Or you can use the existing document, which means a document which is been saved already. So since I'm not saved this document, I'm just going to copy the content of mine into this document, right? So what I am going to do is I'm going to use this current document. I'm going to choose that option, the very first one, right? And instead of typing here, I'm going to copy my content from the letter that I was typed already into this place, right? So I'm going to paste it here, right? Then I'm going to go to the bottom part again, and here I'm giving the next and previous button, so you can move to the previous step or you can move to the next step, right? So here I can click on the select recipient, right? And here it will say, once I click on the select recipient, I will be moved to the step 3. And here it say use an existing list, select from Outlook contacts, which is given with the Windows operating system, type a new list. So I'm going to click on type a new list, right? This is the place where you are going to interact with the database part. So once you click type a new listing, so it will give you the ability to create the list. So I click on the create list, or I create link in here, right? Once I click on it, it will give me a structure, a window like this. See, title, first name, last name, company name, address line 1. So there are many. Address line 2, city, state, zip code, and all these things are here, right? So I may not need all these columns. This is the place where you're going to give the basic details, where you're going to repeat, or where the place, the details which you are going to change on your letter. So according to our example, it is this address that we are going to change. So what I need is, I need the title, I need the first name, and I need address line 1 and address line 2 and city and state. I'm going to put, I need only address line 1, address line 2 and the city, right? I'm going to put 39 here, Kottava here and Pannipitiya here. And all other things are not very needed for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to customize this chart first, or like we customize this table first. So I'm going to click on customize column button, this button. So once I click on it, I'm given the ability to add new things, and I'm given the ability to delete things, and I'm given the ability to rename things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these email address and all these things. So I select the specific column and press delete. So it says it's going to delete, and then I'm saying, okay, yes, no problem. So I'm deleting it like this. Let me see whether I can select more than one. No, you are not being given the ability to select more than one. So I'm deleting it. So address line 1 I need, address line 2 I need. Instead of city, I'm going to rename it as address line 3. So I press the rename button. So it gives me a window like this, and I type the need I need to change, and it will be changed into address line 3. And then I'm selecting the company name and I'm deleting it. Saying yes, and I don't need the last name as well, so I'm deleting it. Yes, okay, so these are the things I need. All right. Then what I'm doing is I'm pressing OK. So you can see now I'm having only these 5 lines. There is no any more lines in here, right? So the next thing is I'm going to type my details here, the addresses, right? So Mr. Kamal, number 39. So you may feel, okay, it's the same thing that we are doing on the letter, but the advantage is most of the places that using this facility, they have the list which is being created already. So, and you only need to do this once. Requirement account, you can use this list, right? So once I leave to the very last column, I'm going to press the tab to have a new column. So there I'm going to see Mrs. Nishanti, number 40, Homagama, Kotabama, and Mr. Sarat, and 37. Let's say okay, got it. One time. Mrs. Leela, number 78. There. What to do? Okay, I have typed my details, so I'm not going to go further than this. So there are 4 recipients, right? Then I'm going to press OK. Right? Then it will ask me to save the things inside my image, or like what I have already created. So I give a name like parent list, and I'm saving it. Right? So it will show me the output, or like the things which is being saved already. So here what I have to do is press OK, nothing else than that. Right? Next thing, what you are going to do is write your letter, right? So here at the bottom of this one, so we have selected the list already, or like we are creating it. Then the next step is write your letter. So when I'm writing it, now here the particularly they are asking you to like use the fields which you have already created in that list into your document. Like actually the merging part is happening in here, right? So I'm clicking on this, write your letter. So when I'm writing my letter, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do something very easy. Now, once I am in the fourth step, I am giving these facilities inside the right and insert field, right? Address block, greet inline, insert, merge fields. Now, this is the important one that we are going to use. Insert, merge fields. So once you click on this, you may see the columns that we have created. Title, first name, address, line 1, address line 2, and address line 3 is there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get rid of this part and I'm going to insert fields from here. I'm going to put title. So the title will be shown here. Then I'm going to put the first name. So if I need to put a comma, I can type a comma. Then I'm going to the next line. I'm going to take address line 1. Then I'm going to put a comma from the keyboard. I'm going to put address line 2. I'm going to put a comma from the keyboard. Then I'm going to put address line 3. And then I'm entering it. And if I need the date under this, so I'm going to type the date, 2020 06 28, right? So my merging part is completed now. Now you will see what is happening at the next line, because here at the bottom of this window, now we are in the step number 4. Here as the next step, it says preview your letter, right? Preview your letter. So here I'm going to preview my letter, right? So I'm going to press the next line, preview your letter. See what has happened. Can you see the changes that I have done? No, it's the very first line of my database, right? So my dot is missing. Can you see that? In between Mr. and Kamal, no dot is there. So I can go to the previous line and I can change it. I can put a dot here, right? So then I'm going to preview my Mr. Kamal is there. And the beauty of it, when you are at the fifth step, you will be given the facility to use this preview result group, right? So in this preview result group, you can move your merge part and see the details one after the other. So if I press this forward button or the next button, so my address is getting changed. This is Nishanti number 40 Homagama Godagam. If I press this, Mr. Sarath number 37 Nugegara Devkanda. So likewise, I can preview all 4 parents that I were add to my list. Right. So next, what I am going to do is, what I am allowing to do is to complete the merge. So the merge has happened already. So I'm going to complete it. Right. So see what happens when I am completing this. Complete the merge. So I'm at the 6th step. Still I'm given the ability to change the records. So likewise, I can change these things, as well as I have given the facility to print. See? So if I click on this, they are asking what to be printed. Are you going to print all, or are you going to print the current record, or are you going to print from which index to which index? Like I'm having 4 indexes now, I'm having 4 records now. If I say from 2 to 4, it's going to print 3 letters, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the letters now. If I say all, so it's going to print all 4 letters from the printer. So we are not going to change it and give it to the printer. We are just pressing this all and pressing OK. I'm not pressing this OK because it's going to start the printing on my printer, right? So when I'm pressing, if I press OK, what's going to happen is I'm going to receive 4 printouts from my printer with the different names, with the different addresses, which we have already merged here, right? So අපි කියවනේ address එක මක මකා ලියන්න වෙනවා කියලා. So that part is already taken away. So the only time we spend to have insert these fields is the place we were creating the database. එතන විතරයි අපිට කාලය වැය කරන්න ඕනේ. And in the future, if we need to send a similar kind of a letter, එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි ඔය type කරපු ඒ fields අතර වෙන ඕනම letter එකක පාවිච්චි කරන්න උනොත් මේ විදිහට change කර we can use the same list and do the merging part. Right. So is it clear, people? I know it won't be get into your mind at a one stretch when I'm telling this for the very first time.
That means only
Yes, Minul. Yes, Minul. Minul, I can't hear you now. Right, I think Minul is having some communication error. Okay, so what I am saying you is, like by tomorrow night, I'm going to have this recording at the LMS, right? So you can see the this lesson, and you can see this part and go through how the things are going to happen, right? So I will send you, I will give you a small practical when we are meeting next time, right? So or I will be sending it to your group to do it at your home by looking at this practical again and again. So if you have to clarify anything, so you can ask me from the chat or by calling me. That doesn't matter, right? So if you need, you can call me. And yeah, so that is the end of the word lesson. So we have done a very solid lesson regarding the words. So now you know a lot of things inside this package. And again, there are many more things that you need to learn by yourself. So go through and experience it, right? So yeah, that's all regarding the MS Word. So I'm going to end the session by this point. And again, what I am reminding you is, I'm going to send the message to your parent, and it's better you talk with your parents as well. What is the way that you need to participate in the future classes? Either it is online or offline. I'm ready for anything, and I'm ready for both. That doesn't matter, right? We'll see what we can do is now. In my side, it will be very easy if you people are gathered around a one specific solution. If you are going to the both solution, that doesn't matter again, right? But let's see, because this is convenient for both the parties to do the things. And I think a subject like ICT can be learned much effectively when we are doing the classes online, right? And again, it doesn't matter if you visit here and do the classes with me. I'm ready for anything. So just take the message to your parents as well. And I'll send the message to your parents as well on the WhatsApp group. And the students who are participating from the IME, you guys have to continue the classes online as I have the idea regarding you. Still, you are like to visit here and participate on the classes. That doesn't matter again. So just discuss it and tell it to me, right? I'll send the message to IME group as well, right? So your parents can contact me to have the idea. So we'll see what to be done or how, and how we are going to meet on the next lessons, right? Okay, people. So I'm going to end the lesson from here, right? Right? So I can things, right? Okay, people. So have a nice weekend. Tomorrow you have the school, and like after a week you are going to go to the school as well, as I remember, right? So be careful, right? Right? Okay, have a nice weekend and have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Puta. Right, okay.